And top story sounded in northern Israel as Hezbollah rockets hit Haifa, which is Israel's third largest city. The Iran-backed militant group said it targeted an Israeli military base south of Haifa with a salvo of F-1 missiles. Israel's military said at least 5 projectiles were identified coming from Lebanon, and fallen projectiles were found in the area. According to Israeli media, at least 10 people were injured in the attack. On the other hand, Israel continued its bombardment of Lebanon. Explosions were heard in South Butte shortly after the Israeli army called on residents to evacuate the Hezbollah stronghold. According to Lebanese media, Israeli war planes launched 2 strikes on the southern suburbs. The first targeted the St. Thea area and the second targeted the Baj al-Marij area. This as Hashim Safin, slain Hezbollah chief Hassan N's likely successor, continues to be unreachable. One of the group's official claimed Israel is obstructing search and rescue efforts in the area where Safin is thought to have been bombed. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met the army's northern command chiefs on Sunday to discuss its operations against Hezbollah in Lebanon. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant is in the United States and has already met Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. They discuss Iran's destabilizing actions. West Asia has been on edge since Hamas's October 7 attack on Israel. Exactly a year after the Palestinian group said the attack shattered the illusions that Israel had created for itself, Qatar-based Hamas member Kh Allah in a video said all of Palestine, particularly Gaza and our Palestinian people, are writing a new history with their resistance, blood and steadfastness. Meanwhile, Israelis gathered near Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's residence early on Monday to mark a year since the October 7 attack. The protesters in Jerusalem held banners and pictures of hostages. A similar gathering was witnessed in Tel Aviv. Protesters demanded the release of remaining hostages held in Gaza. This comes as an Israeli campaign group announced the death of another hostage. With this, the toll has reached 32. A recent Israel Democracy Institute poll revealed that the majority of Israelis think that it is time to end the Israel-Hamas war. We are being joined by our correspondent Francis. She's joining us live on phone line from Butte. Thank you so much for joining us. What is the latest you can bring in? So IDF has said that they have now started the operation in southern Lebanon, and they have released videos of their operation as well. What is the latest that you can bring in?
Hello from Beirut. Well, these videos and this announcement is a déjà vu. This is probably the 4th time that we see such an announcement with similar videos since last week, because there is always the trials of the ground invasion, which later results in clashes between the Redwan forces, the special forces of Hezbollah, and the elite of Israeli defense forces. And then a few hours later we see press releases from Hezbollah, and we see some helicopters from the Israelis taking out the injured. These are trials of ground invasion that are always simultaneously accompanied by bombings of southern Lebanon villages. High artillery's a white phosphorus is being used, so this is always in the process of trying to invade on the ground. It is never an actual invasion that ends up in any new status quo or in an end of the classes. On another perspective, here in Butte, it looks like after more than a week from the assassination of the late the leader of Hezbollah, and after the assassinations of top military commanders, it looks like the Hezbollah has regained the initiative. After last night, it was recorded the first of its kind and new upgrade in the way that they have been attacking Israeli targets. Last night, several F-1 Haifa targets hit different bases around Haifa city, and it was the first time that they raised the level of their attacks, and this says a lot about their control command in the terms of military, because the organization is big, and the leadership, the political leadership, or even the the leadership that was assassinated, the military leadership is not the only leadership over there. It seems like on the ground in the south there is a rival and there is like they are regaining their initiative on another. Note the Haza media personalities. Also re-emerged, more press releases are being gathered, and also one of the main political leaderships also was on TV yesterday speaking about the assassinations. So all these have been reported in Beirut and these are new, but of course we have to mention that last night was one of the toughest, most violent attacks on the southern suburb of Beirut. It looks like many new forms of ammunitions are being used. According to experts, there are fuel, air, explosives, and cluster bombs on Beirut last night. Thanks for watching this video.